do we really need to offer even more than what the
Right.
risk
As I
is?
mentioned, I think it's very fair that if the board, because of the change in the deductible for a PPO, if you want to consider an alternative amount for the single and family, I
So
think
keep the wellness
I
part.
think that's a fair assessment, but just know that if we change that and we present that new contribution level to employees, you know, we're gonna have to, you know, explain why, and there will be some employees that will see that as a deduction from what they're receiving, and there's just and you know what, there might not be anyone that changes anyways and they stay on the HSA plan, but that's just, I just wanna let the board know that that is a risk, anytime that you change any contribution level.
Just
Oh, trustee Warren.
just kind of a couple of mechanical questions. This is my first time through it. So I'm assuming the village administers the wellness program, tracks all those metrics.
The meal plan, have you seen the metrics? Have you got to see the metrics?
I don't think I've seen the metrics.
You
no.
should see it.
And speaking of the metrics, do we have any kind of, because my employer is kind of similar programs. Do we have anything that shows that the wellness program actually gets to better outcomes?
So it's,
Alex,
yeah.
why don't you
it's really hard to prove a return on investment in any type of wellness plan, whether what we do today or if we went to a more outcomes-based program. And the reason is, a group of our size, we have a handful of large claims, premature babies, cancers. It doesn't matter what we do from a wellness standpoint, our rates are gonna increase. So it's kind of like safety programs and workers' comp. I can't give you a number of how many potential heart attacks or other health issues we may have saved by doing the wellness. So it's really hard to give a
Well, other
return on
communities
investment.
actually measure biometrics, and so then you could have some, I mean, your body weight, if you're overweight, and then your body mass goes down.
HIPAA allows them to do that?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, our.
most private companies do that.
Private companies do that.
And it's generally
But-
walled off. You're not-
Well, yeah, it's not employee X, okay.
It's usually run by the healthcare provider,
All right.
right? For the, that's why I asked about the plans, they go hand in hand. My only concern is that we don't have in front of us is there are 2 new trustees, not that we can't vote tonight, but in the future, they have not seen the wellness card. It's 3 years later, and we have the same program, and I've voiced concern since day one. It's, you know, you submit what you ate for the week and you get 50 points. I don't feel that that is getting us, I want a healthier population for our employees. I'm going to the dentist and getting 100 points for a routine cleaning. Some of that stuff you can just add up that you already do, and then you're getting all this extra money. So I'm all for a wellness program, so I don't want people to think I'm not. I've always said that. I just do not agree with our program. So I'll be voting no for that reason, and I am kind of disappointed that others don't have the information that I have in order to make that decision. But that's where we're at. We used to charge our employees 12% premium, and then we went down during the wellness program to incentivize it, but I'm not sure what it's getting us. Like, we're paying out 80% utilized wellness, right?
80%,
And
yeah.
we're gonna change plans this year.
Well, no, but because of the people that changed the plan previously
Previously.
here, that's a net saving that the village receives every year.
I don't know if they'd switch back, but, okay, trustee Bachros.
So yeah, it's tricky. Healthcare is a moving target, and the fact that public employees do not have collective bargaining rights anymore makes all of this even more complicated and convoluted. So whatever we can do, and I know we have tight fiscal concerns at the village, but whatever we can do to minimize the stress on the employee. Changing plans is stressful enough regardless, because you have to go ahead and you have to look through. I mean, we're doing it at my place of employment right now, even though we're getting what I think is a better overall program. It's just going, and we have more options than we're providing the village as far as employees are concerned. But, so I'll just state a few things. I completely appreciate the HSA contribution and increase as well, especially considering this is a rollover. And I'm not sure we're using the same terms, so high deductible plan, health savings account, is that what we're saying for HSA, right? I mean, that's...
They go hand in hand. It's a high deductible plan.
Right, but you can have an HSA without having a high deductible.
No.
No, you
Am I
have,
thinking of FSA?
you have to have a high
Okay,
deductible
sorry,
plan.
okay, my mistake. But anyway, so I do appreciate the fact that we are contributing to the HSA and also given the rollover aspect as well, and that it's pre-tax, right? At least if the employees contribute to this as well. Are we allowing them to do that?
It's pre-tax for both the
Right,
employer and
yeah,
the
of course,
employee.
but I mean, so employees, so part of this is if we want to maintain a level of wellness going forward and allowing the employees to bank up some money for big, let's face it, when you go to the doctor, except for your regular scheduled checkups, it's not because you want to be there. This is not a purchase you want to make. So anyway, I think it's great that we do contribute. The return on investment and wellness that you said is difficult to measure, of course. However, morale and efficiency of employment of our employees, it's not just about us saving money, of course, but we want to make sure our employees are healthy. And as a result, they're going to be able to work harder and maintain physical, emotional, psychological, levels of wellness that we would hope that they would have. So I think that benefits the whole village. I'll try to be succinct here. Also, something I've mentioned before, and I'm hoping going forward, maybe I'll get some more board support on this, would be the discussion with the school district, with the Shorewood Fitness Center, if we're talking about changing the wellness card, which I completely understand and support, perhaps making it a little bit meatier. One of the things we might want to look at is working with the school district and allowing our employees to have free or discounted rates at our fitness center, just as the school district employees do. And I'm sure there's good reason for that. Healthier, employees that work out more, have fewer accidents in the workplace, et cetera. And I would love to look at the wellness program, and I'm not saying, Tyler, you haven't done a great job and it's tricky, but let's put it this way, if the employees were already doing the things that meet the score on that wellness program, I think that they should earn the right to have the discounted health, program, because that's what we want ultimately, right? It's not just to save money, but we want healthy, happy staff members. So I'm supporting the motion. I'd like to vote eventually here. I'm done. Wait, we don't have a motion? Yes, you do, and you seconded it.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, I would make a motion, I move to make no changes to the village wellness program and health savings account contributions.
I'll second it.
Do we have a motion and a second? Further discussion? Trustee Carpenter and then Tyler.
I just have a question about the wellness program. So is it not a, physical that's done within,
Yeah, explain the program, please.
First of all, I apologize, I meant to include the wellness scorecard. I'm gonna take total blame on this. I mean, Alex worked diligently to get us a proposal, and we got it Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and the packet was due 2 hours later, so I had to put all these materials to 2 hours. So I did not include it, I apologize. I would actually recommend, if there's a friendly amendment, perhaps that you consider that include in the motion if you as a board want to review the wellness program, to please include that. Because that just helps me as a staff person know that as a board, you as a whole want to review it and not just one or two individuals, because sometimes that's really difficult for staff. I don't know, is this just one person that wants to review it or as a board?
It's just gonna be hard because they don't know what they want.
So that would be helpful. To answer your question, there's 2 pages. One page is activities. So or it's preventative care, I should say. So in order to get your points, you pretty much have to do an annual checkup with your doctor, you do a biometric screening, and then you do an online health risk assessment. If someone doesn't want to do one of those 3 things, they can do some other things like a dental cleaning, a vision exam. There's some other things.
Right, your diet.
So that's page 1. Page 2 is basically physical, or actual exercise activities, mental health activities. So they could either take a log, a gym membership, and there's a minimum amount of points that they accumulate. If they accumulate the minimum on both pages, they turn in the scorecard, it's checked, and then they're eligible then to get the wellness incentive.
So when I looked at the original card, that hasn't changed. Without the biometric, you can get there with very simple things. That was my concern. It was more of you could read a book on healthy and submit your one pager on it. You can write your diet plan for the week. I mean, there were some simple things that I got to the points that I needed, and I still wouldn't be any healthier. So that was my original concern.
So, just to kind of, the reason for my question, obviously to understand that too, but just knowing that most large companies are moving towards, and it's a very common thing, you can walk into like any CVS minute clinic and it's a form and it's, you know, cholesterol, BMI, blood sugar that has to be submitted, it has to be within these certain parameters before you can be in that discounted. And then you can also opt out, not, you know, choose not to do it, but know you're not gonna get that discount. And it's usually not a percentage, it's usually a flat fee, so it's, you know, $500, $600, in addition to an assessment about your mental health and a few other things. And so for me, I think that is something that I think we would really benefit from, and our employees would benefit from, because it would keep everybody healthier, and that is what we want, is we want people to be healthy and to have fewer claims.
Do we have the ability to do that? Because I'm asking this question for you because I was told when I said that the first time that we don't have that ability because our healthcare provider isn't, that our plan does not include things like to review that stuff, is that correct?
I did the biometric screening as a part of it. I also thought I had to do the full 2 pages as well. So I did most of the activities.
So we do have the ability to.
We do, I mean,
Yeah.
so we partner actually with
And it was
Collective
helpful.
Scorecards and that's something, you know, we're doing it incrementally. So we just wanted to get the program off and running and have a few years that we have similar. So now that we have a few years, I think this is a perfect opportunity to review, you know, taking it to a next level. And that's something that we can work with the Horn Group and WCA on doing that.
Yep, and that's my point of next year when we look at plans. I don't like to look at them separately because a plan in healthcare might provide a better wellness program that we can't get utilizing the one we just chose. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And I don't know the difference because I don't have those specs, but you would know, you know what I mean? Like, that's something to look at. Trustee Warren.
Well, thank you for presenting this, Tyler. I just want to say, you know, from my perspective, you know, this aligns very much with what I see and, you know, what I do for healthcare. You know, Rally was mentioned before. I do Rally. You know, biometric screening, then you have Rally missions that you complete if you don't hit certain parameters. So this is very much commensurate with what, you know, I think is kind of a trend for businesses and corporations. What I'm hearing from you, Tyler, is that this is not even the cost. This saves, ultimately what we're doing here is saving the village money, getting us to a better place financially, but I want to make sure that that's
Not the wellness program.
Yeah, so for the HSA, for sure. Like, I don't think there's any disagreement that the HSA contributions, no matter what you set them at, will.
Okay.
I think what depending on the interpretation, is that fair? Okay. I just want to make sure I articulate right.
What did we spend last year?
Is on wellness, because I think to President Rosick's point, it used to be at 10% or at 12%. And with us changing it now to 10 to 15 and participation being higher than normal, we're seeing about 15 to 18%, or sorry, 15 to 18,000 more in costs for village and health insurance, because of the higher participation. But in my memo, I added the point that I know of 2 particular people that did not want to do the work of the wellness scorecard.
3 years ago.
And they said, I'm just, you know, I'm not going to do the wellness program, I'm going to go on my spouse's plan. So my point is, if you get rid of the wellness program and go back to the 12%, you're at risk for them going back onto the village plan because they were on it before. And that's a savings of $50,000. So that's where I get the net of 31. And that's kind of where I think, you know, you can take your pick on the interpretation, but that was my interpretation of the memo.
Yes, Trustee Menta.
I would also like to review our wellness program, and we have 2 trustees who have never reviewed it. So that's I think that's a number of us who would like to at least look at it and have a better understanding and compare it, because I think those who work in corporate America, those are a little more stringent in terms of what you need to do and how you need to prove it. Also, I mean, from an economic, I'm going to vote no, just because from an economic perspective, it does not make sense to me to be offering more in an HSA than to go to the HSA, the whole idea is you're taking a little bit of a risk because your deductible is higher, your out-of-pocket is higher. But if we are paying you even more than what that amount is, there's no, I mean,
You should just
there's
go
no
to that
risk.
plan and do it for every
There's no
employee.
risk. I mean, and logically, everybody
do it
should
for all.
jump on
Why aren't we
that.
doing it
I
for
don't
everyone?
understand why everyone wouldn't jump on that. I mean, and I'm even okay with us paying the difference. But in some cases, we're paying more than the difference to go from one plan to the other. So it just does not make logical sense to me. So, and I mean, I might offer an amendment to change the HSA amounts, but I don't know if that's worth the time to do. So
Before we move the question, because I try to wait till the end and then I lose my chance. So for I concur. I also feel we're hiring the deductible on our plan. And that is more than enough incentive. Every time we do something to save some money, we always end up paying half of it out in a different way when it comes, and so I would like to save the money and I mean, people are gonna have an incentive if their deductible's going up in the plan to go over to the HSA, especially if, like Trustee Menta said, if your deductible is covered, we should just go as a village to that. And
more than covered.
because you're saying it's saving us money, why aren't we proposing that for every employee? Give them